no matter how much fitness you have or what your skill levels currently are, it was not always that way. Welcome back, friends. Happy Monday. Are y'all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed? I sure hope so. So I posed a question last week regarding hand signals, specifically hand signals to motorists, because I had an interesting thing happen to me on the way to the grocery store, of all places. I was on a trail that borders basically a highway, and I was going to turn right into the parking lot of the grocery store. And there were a couple of cars waiting to get out onto the highway. And so as I approached, I didn't do the Schoolhouse Rock hand signal. I just kind of did this, meaning I'm going right. You don't have to worry about me. Carry on with your day. And as I made the right into the parking lot, the old guy that was in the car rolled down his window. And I'm not exactly sure what he said because I had a hard time understanding him, but I think what he said was, "Nobody understands what that means anymore." To which I thought, well, I mean, obviously, I think you did. But it just it just kind of struck me funny. So the question was, do you still use hand signals? Again, I always want to set a good example. I don't want to be the person that driver can go home and at the dinner table or sitting at the bar use me as the example for why all cyclists should be, burned at the stake or whatever it is that they say. So that's the question. Do you still use hand signals? Hand signals to the people that you're riding with is a different topic altogether, but do you still use hand signals? Answer down below. So I was bumping around the internet looking for paddling groups, paddling clubs. This is an opportune time to say that if you have been bumping around and that's how you found this channel, make sure you give a like and subscribe. Thank you. It's shameless. But no, I was bumping around looking for paddling groups, paddling clubs. Of course, you're spending an awful lot of time talking about paddling. What's going on? Well, all the places that I would like to ride are now either underwater or very, very wet. And, there's a big puddle directly that way. And someone very wise once said, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. So I'm doing this search, and the first or second result that came up, you get the link, and then you've got kind of a little description of what the site is all about. And it may have been all caps. "We are not a beginner's club." To which I thought, well, that's welcoming. Now, I would not classify myself as a beginner necessarily. I've done a fair bit of paddling, but quite honestly, if your introduction is no noobs allowed, you're probably not people that I want to hang around with. It took me back almost immediately to riding in the 90s, where it was all racing bikes, and there's a lot of you out there that have probably had this happen to them. Hopefully not to you, but you've seen it. There's some poor soul shows up to a ride. Even worse, they've been invited to a ride. And then, you get them out on the road and proceed to beat the living hell out of them, or worse yet, drop them and leave them out in the middle of nowhere for you to, for them to find their own way back. I mean, this was the times before these things where, you could call up Google Maps and kind of figure out how to get home. And I think the thing that was the most shocking was, for the last 5 or 6 years, I've dealt exclusively with a certain type of bike. And moreover, the people that ride those bikes don't seem to be like that. I'm sure that culture still exists. And I'm sure a lot of you out there can provide examples. But it was just, I was not used to it. I can understand if you've got your little group of people and you all are kind of in the same mindset and, you're willing to go out there and cross swords with one another, but don't promote it. Because if you promote it, and then you're like, but you can't come, I mean, it just kind of makes you look like a dick. I hope something good happens to you today. Until next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon.